Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Imagination Megapark. Now, in the last episode, I worked on this new colored area in the Mystery Marsh, and I added this big water coaster here with the reverse drop on the chain lift. Now, I got lots of nice comments on this coaster, so yeah, thanks everybody who left some nice comments, and it's great to hear that you guys like this coaster. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to once again move on to the next area, which is the Subsea Sands. Now, what I plan to build in this area is, well, we have this area over here, which is kind of like a quarter circle, and I think this will be a really neat area to have some sort of theater here. So just just like I did over here in the science station area, I want to make sort of like a show building with grandstands, and then over here in this section I want to have a show playing. So basically some entertainers who are walking around with several sea creatures surrounding them, and a nice stage area in the background as well. Now, before I do any building, I think it's a good time to name several more handymen after commenters on the last Imagination Megapark video. Alright, here you can see the 6 new additions to the Handyman squad. Thank you so much for leaving such nice comments. And if you also want to find yourself in the park as a handyman, just leave a fun or interesting comment on this video and you may find yourself sweeping vomit in my park. Alright, with that taken care of, it's now time to start building the arena. Alright, the arena now has been built. Of course, the guests cannot actually use this arena yet, because I still have to make some of these seats using probably the vertical drop coaster to actually give this guests a place to sit in. Now, for this arena, I also plan to use the diagonal part, so I'm also going to try and put some of these vehicles on a diagonal slope, so we can also see the guests take a seat in this part of the arena. Now, I have never done this before, so I will find out how tricky it is. I think I can get 3 rows of guests over here, but I'll have to see how it goes. Now, as for this arena itself, yeah, over here just several rows of seats. I made this part using some single rail coaster track, just like in the Robot Wars arena. For the roof, I mostly just used base blocks, but for this part here on the inside, for this curve, I used some wooden coaster track, just to allow me to get a nice looking curve here. I think it actually looks pretty nice, like this. And the sides, I just decorated it with some small walls. And for the edge of the arena, well, the back side, I also just kept it simple. I just put some more of these rocks against it. And over here I used some of these Nordic wall pieces from one of the expansions. Altogether, I think I integrated this arena quite nicely into this landscape over here. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is making it functional. And yeah, this part will look a lot like how I did it over here for the Robot Wars arena. So yeah, let's go. Okay, it was actually quite tricky to get these vehicles to line up in this diagonal part. And another thing that was tricky was that these vehicles were actually a little bit too wide to have 3 of them right next to each other. So I actually replaced the middle ones with floorless roller coaster trains. Yeah, I think this actually works pretty well. I'm not too bothered by them not exactly lining up. Maybe I can actually move these up a little bit. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that might actually work a little bit better. I'll do the same for the other ones. Alright, I'm happy with the way the stadium looks. Now, I also already made it accessible for guests, so you can already see a few of them sitting in the grandstands here. Now, I put the excitement rating of this ride pretty high now, so we should see quite a lot of guests heading for the ride now. I'll probably lower it again a bit later, but at least this gives me a good idea of what the ride will look like now. Now we have 4,000 guests now. In the end, when the park's almost completed, I'll put some underground rides just to boost the guest cap by a lot, and that should also make sure that all of the rides actually have some guests in them. So then I don't have to boost up the excitement ratings of rides anymore to actually get some guests in them. But yeah, I think this is a promising start. And what I'm going to do now is actually work on the stage, which will be over here. Okay, we now have a little stage over here. Yeah, I put one of these pirate ships that you can see over here. I think it's a really nice element for the stage here. And you can sometimes also see guests looking at the pirate ship, which is also always a fun thing. Now over here I try to make it look like a little townscape. Just put some very little buildings over here with quite a few doors. And also this silly building here with some openings. And yeah, this is probably one of those typical stage buildings. So one of the actors could enter in here, climb up, and then do something over here, like jumping down or jumping on top of a dolphin, whatever. some show stuff like that. Now in front of the stage, just made a little rocky area just to decorate it a little bit more. And this would be an area that would be used by the sea creatures that play in this show. Alright, now that I've built the stage, of course it doesn't really look very exciting yet. So what I still need to add here, of course, is the actors and the sea creatures. Now for the actors, we have some ride attendants over here, some patrons. I think I will rename these entertainers simply ride attendant, and I will move some actual patrons to be the actors on this stage. I think this will be a more fun spot for the patrons to be in the park, and of course it will also help me make this look like an actual stage. So I think it's a win-win situation for everyone involved. Okay, we now have a show going on here on this little stage. You can see these two entertainers. So you can see Jazz Handymen, here you can see Zip Rap. They used to be in a different spot in the park, but they now are actually running the show here. Now I put some turtles here on the front of the stage. They're just relaxing and looking around. And you can also see this killer whale over here. And there's also a dolphin swimming around. Now I could add more sea creatures, but I think the scene is already busy enough with these 4 animals. So, and these 2 entertainers are running around as well, doing their silly dances. So yeah, I think this is good enough for the show. Now I'm really happy with how this scene turned out over here. I really like this little stage. I think it looks really nice, especially with these sea creatures now also swimming around. I think it looks a lot nicer. Now I do see a little bit of glitching going on here. I'll just quickly fix that by putting this plant above ground. But yeah, I think that's all the building I'm going to do for this episode. Now, it's not too big of an addition, but for sure, I think it looks really nice, especially from this angle. The stage just looks so cool, also with these guests sitting in the diagonal here. And yeah, I like that it's visible from all angles, although the stage is blocked by the lighthouse from this angle. But yeah, from most angles you still get a nice view of this addition here. Let's take a quick look while zoomed out. Yeah, I think that looks really cool. Maybe off camera I will add a few more decorations here to this roof. But overall I'm just super happy with how it looks. And I also hope ZipWrap and Jessenden are happy with their new spots in the park. I think this is definitely nicer than just being a ride attendant somewhere. Now, if you also want to have a spot in the park as an entertainer, that's a role that's reserved for all my patrons. So if you also want a spot in the park as an entertainer, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description. And all the support is really appreciated. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed watching me build, please consider giving this video a like. It would really help out my channel. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can always subscribe. Alright, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.